The last roster update of the regular season here at MLB The Show 22 is just a few weeks away. I can't believe we're already at the end of the year. And now every team that's not going to be in the postseason, this will be the last roster update for those players. So the last chance for a lot of these guys to get upgraded, to go up to diamond, to get up to gold, etc, etc. So we got 10 names in this video. Now I will be leaning towards a couple players that are going to be on postseason teams, because that does mitigate our risk a little bit. If they don't go up in this next update, we have the opportunity for them to pop off in the postseason to get an upgrade. We know how wild that postseason update can be and will be. Guy like Eddie Rosario, Kike Hernandez last year, silver to diamond jumps at one point in time. So we know that postseason update is going to be absolutely wild. Definitely going to favor some postseason guys. I got 5 hitters and I got 5 pitchers in this video. This is a tough one. At this point of the year, most of the players who have played well enough to warrant a significant upgrade, they've already been upgraded. We're so many games into the season, so we're having to dig down in the barrel for this one, but you know we're coming in with some bangers here. We still got some guys that I feel solid about. I think some hidden gems that a lot of people are overlooking. First off here, we got Bichette. He did get a pretty decent upgrade in the last update, getting him back up to a gold player. Obviously, a guy who has been diamond in the past, and it is looking like the Blue Jays are going to be able to get into the playoffs. So that'll give Bo those opportunities in the playoffs to do well, in addition to what he's going to do over the last few weeks of the season. And he is hot right now. We're really looking at his lefty stats, maybe a little bit of righty power. Honestly, all of his offensive attributes, there are some solid room to grow there. And we can see over his last 14 games, he's coming in and batting .460 with a .444 isolated power. And then when we take a look at what he's done versus lefties over that same time period, last 14 days, .450 average with a .385 ISO. If you can keep that up over the next 2 weeks, continue that into the postseason, definitely deserving here of some pretty significant offensive upgrades. We take a look at his price, 608 on the sell now. It is a little bit high, 200 subs above that quick sell value, so you don't have to buy today. I think that's something to consider. We do have still some time before the next update. Maybe we get a market crash between now and then. Don't have to go in and buy today, but I mean, heck, even if you bought today, that's a pretty solid flip right there on that Bichette card. A little bit on the riskier side, but we definitely will have some more risk-adverse plays coming up. Next up, we got Carlos Correa. An 83 needs that +2 to get up in the diamond. This is his last chance. Twins not going to be in the playoffs this year, so last chance for Correa to get into that diamond tier. We want to take a look at what he's doing versus lefties, as that contact left, power left has some room to grow. Still with right as well. Correa has been hitting really good over his last 14 games. Over his last 14 days, he's hitting 400 overall, 317 when we back that up over his last 30 days as well, with a 632 isolated power versus lefties over the last 30 days in addition to that. So that power versus left upgrade could be coming. Maybe you pair that with a little bit of contact upgrades here and there, and Correa could be a guy who just sneaks into that diamond tier here to end the season. We take a look at his price point, 1331. So again, a situation where he is above that quick sell value. Definitely becomes a lot tougher to get these guys at quick sell later on into the year, because the amount of targets that people are investing in has become so limited. So 1331 here, 131 stubs above quick sell for Correa. Still not too bad of a play, and not too much risk there on the line. Next up here, we got Nathaniel Lowe, who just missed becoming a diamond in the last update. We had 6 new diamonds. Lowe was almost the 7th on that. You can see he got up to an 84, a +8 to his contact left, power left. That's get him up into that 85 threshold, so he's not too far away either. And of course, we can look at this card and we can see 78 contact right, 65 power right. That is where we have the most room to grow here on a guy like Nathaniel Lowe. So what has he done over the last 30 days? Well, he's hitting 355 versus right-handed pitching over the last 30 days. And even in the last 14 days, he's still hitting 308 versus that right-handed pitching, and coming in with a 269 isolated power versus righties over that 14-day time span as well. So can Lowe get an upgrade to both his contact and his power right? I definitely think that is possible, and that could be just enough to push him into that diamond tier here in the last update. A buzzer beater diamond here for Nathaniel Lowe is possible. Take a look at his price, $16.50. Another situation where 150 stubs above that quick sell value, but not too bad at the end of the day. Next up, we got a bit of a sneaky one here with Willy Adames, one of the best power hitting shortstops in baseball this year. I believe him and Corey Seager, the only shortstops with 30 or more home runs on the season. Now we can see Willy Adames, he already has 89 fielding and 98 arm, the diamond shield there in the top right corner of his player card. That is carrying his 81 overall, where his 53 contact right, 48 contact left is bringing his overall down quite a bit. That's the reason he's an 81 right now. But we take a look at what he's done over the last 14 days versus lefties. He's batting .417. We back that up over his last 30 days. He's batting .351 versus left-handed pitching over that time. A solid contact boost there to his contact left. We go a long way. The Willy Adames getting up into that 82, maybe even getting to that 83, 84 range here as we get into the final update. Now, will the Brewers make the playoffs? Does seem a little unlikely at this point, so we won't be able to bank on that. And Adames getting hot and getting some boost there, hit a couple clutch home runs. All of a sudden, you get a big boost in the postseason. We're probably not going to have that here with Willy Adames, as the Brewers have kind of slowed down here at the end of the season. But a contact boost is definitely in line here, especially versus lefties. Now, versus righties, not hitting as well, but he's certainly not going to get a downgrade at all here on Adames. If we take a look at his price point, $606 on the sell now. 600s are quick sell for 81s. The Willy Adames right here at that quick sell value. One day it's gonna come out in like 20 years that the Rays had like a systematic cheating system where they made all their players just gods out of nowhere. The next guy up on that is Christian Bethancourt. Has been absolutely insane over the last few weeks, and the Rays gonna be a playoff team in a position here for Christian where he can possibly pop off in the postseason and get some big upgrades. I mean, take a look at his hitting. You can see it for yourself across the board, room to grow. Every single attribute can go up. So what has he done? 297 versus righties over the last 30 days. That is much, much more than a 57 contact rating. 405 isolated power during that same time. He hasn't been as good versus lefties over that period, but he's been absolutely crushing right-handed pitching of recent, and he has solid enough defense that's holding up his overall into that 76. I definitely think Bethancourt can be a guy to get up into that gold tier with a solid bump versus righties. Again, it may not be this update, but another 2 weeks, he has a ton of room to grow. He's going to go up overall quick when he starts getting those upgrades. And in the postseason around the corner, who knows what can happen at that point. 76 overall, 75 on the sell now. Right at quick sell value. I like investing in some postseason guys. Get some Rays players, some Yankees players, Cardinals, Dodgers. Players on those teams that are going to be in those postseasons. Maybe some under the radar, slept on high silvers, low gold guys. They pop off in the postseason. They pull in Eddie Rosario. You're going to be cashing in a big way. All that being said, I will have another video coming out before the postseason, going over some of my postseason sleepers, some guys we can throw out some lottery tickets on at that point. Moving on to our pitchers now. We got 5 of those as well. We're starting off with Lynn. Now, postseason opportunities here for Lynn. Pretty borderline right now. I wouldn't count on it, but the White Sox could definitely make a late push here. Just a few weeks left here in the season. It is definitely possible, but Lynn, even without a postseason appearance, has been pitching a lot better recently. He's been a guy who's flirted with Diamond before, kind of been back and forth between Diamond and MLB The Show 21. Now we take a look at Lynn's card here. We can see Case per 9 and his per 9. Both a really solid opportunity to get upgraded here. We take a look at what he's done over his last 3 starts. We got 19 in the third innings, just giving up 12 hits over those 3 starts, which is a really, really good rate. Limiting the walks with only 3, so that 88 walks per 9. That's going to stay nice and put where it is. But 22 strikeouts over his last 19 or third innings. That is a pretty solid rate of strikeouts, above that 9 Ks per 9 number. Certainly deserving of a possible Ks per 9 bump there. Hits per 9 to go along with that as well. I definitely keep a close eye on Lynn for his next handful of starts, possibly his last few starts of the season. If he performs well in there, could certainly creep up into that 83, 84 range here before the end of the season. If the White Sox can sneak into the playoffs, Lynn would probably be a big piece of that playoff rotation and put himself in line to possibly become a diamond at that point. 350 on the sell now, so he is firmly at quick sell here. 900 is our price point here on Lance Lynn. That is our quick sell for these 82s. Moving on now to a guy that is going to get some postseason opportunities. Probably going to be a big piece of the Mariners in the postseason, depending on how far they go. He has been on fire recently. It is Logan Gilbert here coming in at 78 overall. We can see quite a bit of room to grow across the board, but really in that hits per nine and the Ks per nine category, walks per nine as well. Some room there. We take a look at what he's done over his last 3 starts. 17 innings, just 11 hits allowed. So really, really good at limiting those hits. Definitely possible hits per nine upgrade coming there. 4 walks over those 17 innings. Not bad, not incredible. Probably keep that walks per nine where it's at going into this update period. And then 23 strikeouts over his last 17 innings. That is quite incredible for a 56 Ks per nine. So certainly gonna be a pretty substantial upgrade there, it looks like, incoming here for Logan Gilbert. Another guy, keep an eye on his next few starts. If he's continuing to limit hits and strike out guys at a good rate, I certainly see him getting into that gold tier, and we'll see where he can push beyond that as the Mariners get into the postseason. Maybe Gilbert comes up big here in that time frame, and you get one of those goosed up postseason attribute upgrades. He's coming in here at 157 on the sell now price. A little bit above quick sell, as our 78s are 125 quick sell value, but really at the end of the day, about 25 subs above quick sell. He's essentially there at quick sell value. You can get him under that 80 overall price very, very easily, and with a couple more starts here to round out the season, I definitely could see Gilbert going gold before the postseason begins. Another pitcher here who is gonna get some postseason opportunities is Framber Valdez. He's had a really good season down there in Houston, man. They have a ton of really good young arms down there. We can take a look at his card. We can say his per nine 84. That's already pretty high for a starting pitcher. That's probably not going to be able to move too much. So we want to focus on his Ks per nine and his walks per nine for a guy like Framber Valdez. We take a look at his last 3 starts. He has given up 20 hits over his last 23 2/3 innings. So maybe that his per nine comes down just a little bit. But more importantly, he's given up 5 walks, which is limiting them to a decent amount, especially when you have a 62 walks per nine. Most importantly, though, coming in with 27 strikeouts over that time period as well. So that Ks per nine in line for quite a bit bump. And again, he's the guy who's going to get those postseason opportunities as well. So keep an eye on his last few starts of the regular season. He's got some momentum carrying into the postseason. Could come up big and be one of those guys. We're going to have some starter in the postseason for some team that is a silver now or a gold. They're going to pop off. They're going to have a handful of good starts throughout the postseason on a team that's probably making a deep push. That player is going to go diamond. We've seen it happen year in, year again. It's going to happen with somebody this year. It's just a matter of who. Take a look at his price point. 511 on the sell now. That is under quick sell value, so 600 subs. That is our price point target here on these 81s. You can get Framber at quick sell value all day long right now. We got one more starting pitcher here. Another guy, again, who's going to get those postseason opportunities and is bringing some momentum here into the back end of the season is Shane Bieber. We obviously know the caliber of pitcher that Shane can be. He's shown it time and time again, and he's shown flashes this year, but he has been a bit inconsistent. However, currently, he is in the middle of quite a solid hot streak. We take a look at his card. 76 that hits per nine and that 62 Ks per nine. The most room that we have to grow. Where we take a look at his last 3 starts, 21 in the 3rd innings, just 15 hits allowed. So that 76 hits per nine, we're looking pretty good there. And 25 strikeouts over 21 in his 3rd innings over his last 3 starts. Looking really, really good on both those fronts. Only giving up 3 walks as well. So that walks per nine looking pretty solid where that is. I see a lot of room to grow here with Shane Bieber. We take a look at the price point, 616. So here around quick sell value for our 81s. I like Bieber a ton. Another guy who's going to get those high leverage postseason opportunities. Can he go off and go crazy in the postseason as work his way to diamond? It's definitely possible. If he puts together a couple more starts that are solid to end the season, he's probably not going to be an 81 overall going into the postseason either. And we had to get one reliever in here to round this out. And I want to talk about a reliever who's going to be on a postseason team. That's going to be Jordan Romano. Arguably been the best reliever in baseball over the last 30 days, and he has a ton of room to grow with both his Ks per nine and his walks per nine at just a 79 overall with a 96 hits per nine. that is quite impressive. So we have a lot of room to grow on this card. We take a look at his last 17 innings pitched. He's given up 10 hits over that time, so continuing to limit hits. Only 3 walks allowed over 17 innings and 21 strikeouts. So both that walks per 9 and Ks per 9 with room to grow. I see Jordan Romano sneaking in to gold in this last roster update, assuming that he doesn't blow up over the next handful of weeks. And then he's in a position to where he comes out and performs well in the postseason. He really starts to move from that point in time. 188 on the sell now here. That is above our quick sell value of 150 for a 79. But again, we're not risking a whole lot at just 40 stubs above that quick sell value. So I like this play a lot in Jordan Romano. So you have it. Those are the 10 names I'm looking at here for the final roster update of the regular season. A couple of these plays, we're looking into the postseason as well. A couple of these guys are getting their last chance to get upgraded. As always, y'all comment down below who y'all are investing in for this roster update. And be sure to definitely leave a like on the video and sub to the channel if y'all enjoyed the content. Until next time, I'll catch y'all around.